guys, so I have Mouse. He has never really done a rollover. It's not a trick I always teach. And so I've got hot dogs because we need a super special motivator because this is not his cup of tea. And that's why I chose to use him. He may not actually even get the rollover. If that's the case, then I'll include a video of Clara doing a full rollover. But I figured the whole point was to teach you guys how to do it when you really don't always have a dog that's willing to do it right away. So I've got something that's a super high motivator, and I'm going to have him lay down. And what you want them to end up doing a lot of times, it's easier to start on their level, is you want their back hip to be to the side right there. You want them to be in that relaxed thing, that relaxed down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the treat and you're going to put it back by their ear. And this is where a lot of them have a really hard time. They might be relaxed, but that doesn't mean, oh, good boy. Good job. All the way. Yes! Good boy! He has never done it. That's really good. Down. Good job. All the way down. Good boy. And we were practicing bow earlier, right? So he needs to be able to throw his hip to the side and be in a relaxed down first. So I'm just going to try and lure him into that position. So I will say this is one of those things, I don't usually teach a relaxed down, but this might be something that you'd want to actually look into before trying to teach a rollover. And he's super flexible, so he is just like, I'm gonna get it that way. I know, huh? So I'm not gonna force him into it. And one thing, this will be a great example, is I'm not gonna actually, good boy, that's a good bow. Good bow. Release, good job. Down. Good boy. So you don't want to force them, but up, there we go. All right, so if you can get them to crawl forward a little bit sometimes too, and let's see if we can get them to go the other way. They also generally tend to have a dominant hip, the same way that they have a dominant paw that they like to use for shake. Good job, buddy. I know, oh, it's hard. And so they'll either stand up or they won't want to roll that way right away, and you're definitely going to have to work a lot harder to get them to go that direction. And they don't always want to go all the way over. The deal is that I would rather do this all day long and reward baby steps than forcing them, oh, what do you smell, than forcing them to do it when they're not quite ready yet. You want to use a different treat, a different trick, a different method if you have to, but you don't want to force them to do anything, because eventually they'll get there. And it might take you a lot longer. You might decide to teach that relaxed down. You might decide that it's worth teaching a belly before you ask for that full rollover. You might try to teach a crawl first so that you can get that relaxed position. And you might even decide that you're really frustrated, and that's okay to be frustrated. They're probably frustrated too. You want to just make sure that it remains a positive experience. Oh, good boy. Yes, because eventually you'll get there. So this is a really good one for me too, to just tell you guys, it's alright to be frustrated, it's alright to be wanting for a trick to work out and wanting it to progress faster, especially when you have a really smart dog that seems to be in tune with you most of the time. Some things are just harder for them, and this is one of those tricks that really can be, but this applies to any trick that you're teaching, that you want to get them on board with it. Yeah, I know, huh? You want to try the other way? And sometimes they will, and sometimes they won't. And that's okay. You just kind of have to bow. Good job. Oh, that was a broken bow. Bow. Good. And then sometimes, oh, it's a good boy. Sometimes even if you just touch their butt, they'll maybe throw their hip over for you. And they may or may not roll over. And that's okay. I'm actually going to stop. I know. I'm going to stop because I think that it's better for him to end on a positive note than on anything negative. But I feel like we just did 2 or 3 rolls, and that gives you guys an idea of what it looks like. Sit. Good job. But I also feel like it's more important for him to learn something, and then for us to revisit it later in a different training session. It might take him 2 weeks to learn this trick, or tomorrow it could just click. And that's okay.